Coming up on the program, our compost has arrived. Now we've got to get it into our raised beds.
If you're new to our channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button.
Welcome to the Wisconsin Vegetable Gardener. I'm Joey Baird. Well, today is the day that our compost has arrived, and now the job of getting it from the driveway to our raised beds. We built our raised beds in part 1 of this series. You can find that in the show notes as well as the card up in the corner there. Now this is 6 yards of Purple Cow raised bed mix. Good stuff. They're not a sponsor, but we like their product. It works very well. This was delivered by Bluemel's Landscape and Garden Center. They also sell the product here in the Milwaukee, Wisconsin area. If you need garden supply, that's the place to go. They are the official garden center of the Wisconsin Vegetable Gardener radio show as well. So this is 6 yards today. We're getting another 4.5 yards next week. Now this will fill most of the raised beds, and then we've also got giant grow bags and containers that we're going to fill not only here but in other locations. That's why we're getting so much. Now with all of this, there is a cost. We're going to break it down to you. It's obviously much cheaper to buy it in bulk, and when we go to the raised beds I'll explain why. But I'm going to give you the total price of the compost and the delivery. Each delivery is a fee as well, so that they can only do so much. If you're in a different part of the country, you might be able to get your local garden center that provides bulk material to deliver everything that you need all at once. For Bluemel, 6 yards is the maximum which they can deliver based on their regulations and trucks and all of that. So with 10.5 yards, 2 delivery fees, it's $960. $80 a yard for the Purple Cow raised bed mix. So it's a very good mix. Now you think, oh my, that's a lot of money. It can be. However, remember, we are filling raised beds. And in a growing season, by using good compost in those raised beds, we're going to exceed $960 of overall of produce coming out of this bed, these beds, the other beds we have on the property, sister-in-law's raised beds, in which where some of this is going to go at the house on the containers. So it gets distributed here, but it will outweigh itself. And again, this is not like every year I got to go buy this. This is an investment, a one-time year investment that will pay dividends over and over again. There'll be some topping off that needs to be required, but a minimum amount. So we'll talk about how we're going to get it over there, but let's go over the raised beds and talk about, if you have a smaller raised bed, does it make sense to just buy bags of stuff from your big box store, or does it really pay to get the bulk material? Okay, so let's take this bed for example. This is a 4-foot wide by 16-foot long bed. Now maybe not all of you are needing a size of a bed of this magnitude. So let's break it down. This will take 2 cubic yards to fill up. Now obviously there is material already in here from our raised grow bags and some shredded paper and leaves. So that's going to decrease the volume in which we need to bring over. But anyway, this takes it bare empty, 10 inches high, 4-foot wide by 16-foot long. It'll take 2 cubic yards to fill up. So what if we just wanted to do a 4x4 bed? 10 inches high, half a yard. Full yard is 27 cubic feet of soil. So now you're looking at a half of a yard, which is about 13.5 cubic feet of soil. You go to the big box store, you buy the El Cheapo stuff on sale. Don't recommend it, but you're paying, let's say, average of $10 a bag. You need 13 bags to fill a 4x4 bed, 10 inches high. That's $130 that you're going to have to spend on a 4x4 bed. I'm spending a fraction of that on this whole bed because I'm buying in bulk. Now, for example, Bluemel's Landscape and Garden Center, you can go and have a trailer and have them load you up the requirements that you're looking for. Based on the situation and the year, you can go, and I have gone and loaded the back of the trunk up by putting in bags and buckets and then taking it and bringing it home and filling raised beds up that way, buying a half a yard in bulk. So it's much, much cheaper, much more affordable to buy in bulk, but not everybody has that availability. So what we're going to do is we're going to fill the wheelbarrows up, bring them over here, and start filling these raised beds up. Now let's go back over the compost pile and let's talk about the easiest way to possibly fill a wheelbarrow up. I know it's maybe common sense, but let's talk about the ease of it. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We've got a 6 cubic foot wheelbarrow, and that would be, there's 27 wheelbarrows here. I did the math, just kind of know how many trips it would take. So some people will do like this, which is fine, but you're not working with yourself. You want to work so one motion fills the wheelbarrow. The other way, whenever it's filled, the pile's full like this, you can tip the wheelbarrow and work a lot of this in there so you don't have to lift. And then then at a certain point you have to tip it up, and then you just top it off. So try to figure out what the easiest motion is for you, so you have less time, less moves to make to fill the wheelbarrow up. And you can use, if you have to use a small shovel so you can easily scoop it versus a large shovel. Yeah, a large shovel is going to let you move more mass, but the shovel's heavier and it's going to hurt you in the long run by trying to lift more to try to get the job done quicker. Doesn't work as well based on maybe your condition. So we're going to take and start filling wheelbarrows up and just start dumping it in the raised beds, and then this will all be gone in a matter of a few hours. Okay, so we've got bed 1 filled here, and we're filling with help. We're filling other beds. So what we wanted to do here is we want to fill it within about 1/4 of an inch of the top, give or take. And we want to have a little bit of a hump in the center. The reason being is this is going to settle. Even though it's compost, got all the amendments in it and porous material, it's going to settle a little bit, and we're going to get a lot of rain tonight. So what we want to do is have a little hump in the middle, not arching like a rainbow, but then as it settles, then we can come in and knock it down a little bit, and then when we get another load of the compost, and we can top dress these beds and get them within 1/4 of an inch and final dress them. Now, between the beds or the walk paths, we didn't actually go in with a shovel and level grade it all out. What I chose to do was, our compost pile behind the shed has been there for a couple of years, and we've progressively thrown weeds and stuff, all kitchen scraps, in that pile. It's a cold compost, which means it doesn't get to the adequate 170 to 2 degrees for consider 3 or 4 days to kill the germination rate of those viable seeds in there. So the seeds are active, and if we was to mix it in at the bottom of this raised bed as we plant and dig, it would agitate them up to the top and we'd have weeds. So what I decided to do was just take the wheelbarrow and dump a load between these walk paths, and that really does help smooth out the imperfections in it. So it doesn't have to be level grade. If you choose to make everything perfect level grade, that's fine for you. For us, we just want to fill in the holes, make it somewhat level, and utilize that compost. Now we will create a new compost pile in the coming weeks, but this is the way we can utilize our old compost in the garden and not actually put it in the bed and stir up the seeds at some point. So we'll go ahead and get the rest of these filled out. Now what I'm doing with the metal rock rake here is, all I'm doing, Holly's doing this, she's coming in and just knocking this down to a level grade and then just leaving a little hump in the center. And then when we begin to plant, we will bring in the leaves in which we have in the garden that we've stockpiled from last year. We'll mulch them to bring them down to a smaller consistency, also chemical-free, seed-free grass clippings, and we'll utilize that as mulch to hold the moisture in these raised beds. This here will be our tomato bed, and as we construct it, we'll have fence post or T-post here with the Florida weave, but we'll get into that another day. So we'll get the rest of these filled up as the pile begins to diminish in the driveway and the beds begin to fill in the garden. All right, the pile's getting less and less there. So what we do, I overfill the wheelbarrow, so at the end of the day there's fewer trips I have to make. So all I do is we just dump it in there. Now this wheelbarrow is 6 cubic foot, so it may be more than some people would be able to handle, so you can only fill it as full as you can lift it. But if I can fill it more than 6 cubic feet per load, end of the day makes fewer trips, and I'll be sore tomorrow, but that's okay. All right, so once we get it filled, and then Holly comes in and she knocks it down to level grade like you see over there. So we've gotten 3 filled. Now that won't be enough compost to fill all of these beds. That's 6 yards. I need 8 yards here. So we'll get another 4 next week for additional items. But we'll go ahead and finish the rest of these off until we run out of compost. So we've got almost all the beds filled. We've got about a half of a bed left here to fill that we didn't have enough compost for. More's coming. And it always makes it easy when we lay it out on a tarp. That way at the end of the day you can drag what little bit is left and dump it in without having to scrape it up off the pavement, or if you dump it on your lawn or rocks or whatever the case is. So now we'll finish filling that one up, and then it's time to plant. We can't plant right now. We're about a week away from actually good temperatures for the cool weather crops. Midweek we're looking at lows in the low to mid 20s, so we still are not even safe to do any of the cool weather crops. So that's how we've built the raised beds and how we filled the raised beds. There's many different variations, but this is a guideline in which we're helping you so you can not make the mistakes that we make. Thanks for joining me. Join me again next time as we talk more and grow more in the raised beds. As always, thank you for watching. Subscribe, rate, and comment.
For more information, please visit thewisconsinvegetablegardener.com.